Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trail Mix, where the nuts might be a little stale, but the company is always fresh.
Craig Crawford here, retired journalist, working for nothing but the truth and Social Security checks. Democracy fights back today in 4 states. Got some big voting going on. It's vote counting time, and it's a Tuesday. If it's Tuesday, it's vote counting time. I'm going to put on the stage here the man I think is going to be the big winner tonight. We could get into it a little bit later. I'm not supporting him. I'm not endorsing him or anything like that. But I think this is the guy to watch out of tonight.
Precipice of a remarkable moment on November 4th. And not only where I'm confident we're going to win here with Proposition 50, but you're going to have 2 new remarkable governors in Virginia and New Jersey. You're going to have a dynamic young mayor, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum, that ran an extraordinary and exceptional campaign that galvanized people that frankly have been disenfranchised from politics. And we've got leaders now that have a united front and a message that's breaking through on healthcare.
Hey, Jack.
Hey.
I'm just playing here the man I think is going to be the big winner tonight.
Was that Newsom?
Yep. I actually think he's going to have a big night. I mean, he's going to win this ballot thing in California, but I think he's going to get a huge media ride out of it.
Yeah.
And is going to come out of it over the next couple of days as the big name to watch for the nomination in 2028.
Well, he kind of, I don't know, straightened up himself some ways. I'm not for sure, or just
yeah,
or maybe it's because he's got all the California liberals to just shut up about him for a while.
yeah.
You know,
I've noticed, I kind of watch these things of, there's a comfort level he's getting into in this role, whatever this role is, he's established for himself. He's got a cadence to his delivery. He's got a sort of a callback, almost like a preacher style callback rhythm to his speaking style. And of course, he's always been just as slick as could be when in interviews. So in terms of just the media package, he's got it going.
Yeah. And well, if he can just get out of California, there's probably.
Yeah, we go from one California loser to another one is one way to look at it.
Well, there is that.
So I'm not.
But sure. I'm not for sure who else is any better.
Yeah.
I think.
So I'm waiting on Steve Kornacki over at NBC right now. He's going to be getting into exit polls here pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. Well, I did. I went and voted.
You did?
I did. I almost forgot, and then I happened to think, well, I'm only about 3 blocks from the polling place.
Oh, okay.
So I went over there, and there was one woman in there in front of me, and one coming in as I left, and that was about it. That was at 4 o'clock or
hey,
3
Jamie.
o'clock.
Hi there. Well, I voted several days ago, so.
Oh, I thought you were going to say several times.
No, several days. Washington being mail-in, I just fill out the ballots for the family and take them down to the box.
Oh, yeah.
So in a way, I do vote several times.
I'm going to play another 30 seconds here because I want to get Jamie's thought on it. The man I think is going to be the big winner tonight in the media play
Schumers
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jeffries that
Earlier
give me
this
real
afternoon, he
confidence
was doing
that the Democratic Party
open
is on its
collar.
ascendancy, and November 4th will be a pivotal moment marking a new frame, new energy for our party.
We're going to talk about each of those issues that you just mentioned, but it sounds like you're predicting a big night for Democrats on November 4th.
I am, and for obvious reasons. I mean, this is a historically unpopular president. His policies are even more unpopular than the president himself. In every core category, he's underwater, and he's a guy who promised to make us wealthier and healthier. We're poorer and sicker. Across the board, people are starting to realize that not only is our coffee more expensive, their beef is more expensive, but the cost of an automobile is more expensive. Since he became president, the cost of utilities, all the things he promised to solve day one, he hasn't solved. So,
You know, and that's the way to go after him, is on the economic stuff. I like that. I like that. But now, you've always been kind of hesitant about Newsom, Jamie. Give us your hesitation.
Well, my main hesitation is that he's just a shade too glib. Earlier this afternoon, he was with the open collar. I mean, if it was the 70s, he would have been wearing gold chains.
Well, he is California, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. He's the epitome of smooth. He actually has the Obama quality, or JFK, the natural politicians. And yes, you warm up to them, and yes, they are handsome, but until they back it up with some actual expertise, you kind of look side-eyed at them. You know, you might want to go out on a date, but you're not ready to get married.
Yeah.
I think as far as the presidential election, when you look at it, you know, Bill Clinton basically proved you don't have to be any good. You know, you don't have to have a track record.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, that's true of Obama. I mean, Obama was just a state legislature who managed to get 2 years in the Senate and became president.
Well,
And both of them had the good sense to marry brilliant women.
well, you just take it, you know, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, none of them, if you sit there and say, what are their qualifications to run the biggest nation in the world? None of them have a qualification. You wouldn't turn them loose with your, you know, a little company out here.
I mean, that's true. I mean, if you just look at resumes, the only president who had a legitimately impressive resume was George Bush Sr.
And that's basically
he
in my
held every
voting
office
lifetime.
there in the land. I mean, you know, and he was problematic as a president.
Well, I think what you really have to look at is the company they keep.
Mm-hmm.
Who are their advisors? Who are their friends? That is where they will get their expertise. You know, the kitchen table cabinet.
Yeah.
Well, that's what George Bush Jr. said. Basically, he said he didn't have to know everything. He just had to make the decision.
Yeah.
He was the decider.
Well, and he had Dick Cheney to run things when he didn't feel like it. So
Yeah, that.
Well, they were talking a lot about Cheney today and how 9/11 changed him, but he was the one who actually made the decision, if necessary, we shoot down an American plane if it's heading for the White House. And that really changed his outlook. If necessary, you do what you have to do, and why he came down so hard on approving waterboarding.
yeah, and look there. I mean, so Donald Trump managed to do to the White House what the terrorists tried to do. Blow it up.
That isn't funny.
But yeah, we basically, and this is, I think the funny thing about elections goes, this election, the vote I did, there was one issue on the ballot. And it was just purely, are they going to do a tax on hotel and motel to pay for a convention center? And you would think
I'm sure that'll pass.
I have no idea.
I mean,
It's
we
like
always did that in Orlando. I mean, every time we wanted to build something in Orlando, of course, we had 70 million tourists a year. So every time we wanted to build something in Orlando, we'd just raise the hotel tax. we never raised our own taxes because we didn't have.
That was what I was telling my neighbor. He actually does a few short-term rentals around this neighborhood here because we've got Bass Pro's big world headquarters here, and they're big.
Oh, here we got Kornacki's. Kornacki's finally showed up.
Obvious AI music, right?
Yeah, it really is. And is that all they're going to do is play music? This is supposed to be Steve Kornacki calling the exit polls. I'll tone that down.
Yeah, that's got to be AI.
Oh, you know, I use that AI music generator for my videos, and I tell you, mine's better sounding than that was. I mean, it's pretty amazing. You can type in a prompt and say, I want this sort of mood, you know, and with some staccato or percussion or something like that. And then the other thing I like about it is if you have like a 60-second video or a 30-second or 45-second video, it knows exactly that length. So it makes you a little soundtrack that has a start, a middle, and a finish at exactly the length of your video.
Yeah, but you're creative enough to say, no, that's not the one I want.
Yeah. Well, what it does is it'll give you three choices
in
the editor that I use.
But
we ought to play with it sometime. It's kind of fun to come up with prompts to. Well, I mean, it's just all AI. I ask AI to give me an idea for a prompt, and so I have my AI prompt my video editor's AI to make AI music. I mean, it's just we're lost. I don't know what Cornell. Oh, I see. Oh, he's got some numbers down here. Well, let's see what they've got some numbers on the screen there. Yeah, there's the exit polls. They're just not saying anything yet. What's going on? Let's see. Let's find the volume button. What are you guys doing? Oh, here's the volume. No, they're still playing that damn music. But they're putting exit polls on the screen, but nobody's saying anything. Okay, NBC, whatever. We'll read them ourselves. Oh, this is property tax rates where you live. Oh, that is a big issue in New Jersey. I mean, sometimes at this point, all they can do in exit polls under the rules before polls close is tell you like some of the issues. So you have to like make little judgment calls about what the issues mean, how people are voted on the issue. Oh, here's CNN's doing a better job. Let's get to CNN.
President Trump in Virginia, 56% disapproval, and the same kind of story we see here in terms of whether Trump was a factor for people voting in Virginia today. The plurality, 47%, roughly half say no, he wasn't a factor. But when he was a factor, it is a factor to oppose him. That's what, when he was a factor, people who wanted to cast a ballot did so to oppose Trump, 37% anyway. 15% said they were casting their ballot in Virginia to support Trump, Jake.
All right, those are preliminary numbers, but they are important exit polls potentially from David Chalian. Thanks so much. And Dan Bash, there's so much that any candidate can outrun a president who is underwater, who is an albatross around their neck. Terry McAuliffe, the former governor of Virginia, who ran again 4 years ago, he was here yesterday, and he talked about how Trump was 17 points underwater in Virginia. And I said, what was Biden when you ran 4 years ago? 17 points.
Your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
The people lift up and down.
See if Kornacki's got anything to say. Virginia poll, 36% are angry. 27% dissatisfied. So you put angry and dissatisfied people together, and you got some unhappy people in Virginia.
Well, considering the high number that work in D.C. who live in Virginia, that's understandable.
Yeah. Well, yeah, CNN was talking about that exit poll on Trump, man. One thing I noticed about both Democrats running for governor in New Jersey and Virginia, they tried to talk about the economy, and they managed to some, but those campaigns were both all about Trump. I mean, in terms of the ads and everything else, and how they went after their opponents. You could say
is a nutcase. He really doesn't belong.
Oh, you're talking about the mayor?
The guy who was the volunteer patrol of the neighborhoods. Sliwa. Is that how he pronounces his name?
I don't even know. I should after
the guy with the red beret.
Look at her. You can see Kornacki just wandering around pointing at people. He's trying. There he is. There he is again. Oh, I think he's getting ready to say something.
He must be getting his crew together.
Yeah. I can't find their volume, but it's over here. No, they're still just playing music.
Are we going to get anything on the commentary side? Do you think you'll attract some people dropping in on our chatting?
I have no idea. I mean, all I can do is tell people we're here.
But I mean, I don't see anything on my screen.
I'm sorry. You mean comments. Oh, yeah. I always
forget. Comments.
Okay. Haven't seen anything. No, not yet. Let's see. Join chat.
It's a little early for them to start paying attention.
And actually, there was a new thing that surfaced. We put on where they've added putting comments on stage, but they let you make them bigger. There, that's bigger, and then you can make them wide. Now, that's as big as it gets. Looks like right there.
Well, that's readable.
I don't know.
Brunk's comment on the site earlier intrigued me about Emma's Now and being very female oriented, and I pointed out that all of their major broadcasters are women except for Morning Show, and the group in the afternoon has one, and then of course Lawrence O'Donnell in the evening. But other than that, it's all women.
Yeah, that's true. It is. Yeah, that's maybe that's what they ought to. I don't think that's officially what the MS stands for, but it's better than multiple sclerosis. That's for sure.
Well,
I mean, the problem, and of course, the original meaning of MS was Microsoft, which hasn't been involved since they founded the thing decades ago. I don't know how long that's been, but
it goes Microsoft. Back 25 years.
Yeah, but that's what the MS comes from.
New York City vote, CNN has cost of living as being the biggest issue.
Well, of course.
So, I mean, that's going to sway them towards Mom Donnie.
Yeah.
That second M really messes with the pronunciation.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
You keep wanting to make it an N.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I was telling Craig earlier, I had a nephew that was living in New York City. And when they had their first child, they found it difficult. And when they had their second, they found it impossible. So they live in New Jersey now.
Yeah.
Which also, I think, may be affecting what New Jersey politics looks like. It's probably a little less anti-New York than it used to be.
Yeah, when even the rich sections out in Long Island are looking cheaper than the central city, that's getting pretty bad.
Here, speaking of MS, they're finally getting these exit polls on a graphic we can see. So the president's job approval. You know, the amazing thing about Trump and those Virginia, New Jersey numbers, they're pretty close to his national numbers. The amazing thing about what was it they call it in the trading range is so narrow, more than any politician I've ever seen, where he really ever since he came on the scene, his numbers, approval numbers, are basically between 43 and 47. They never go below that, and they never go above that. It's the most narrow trading range I've ever seen.
Yeah, and basically his best numbers are just right after the election.
Yeah,
he gets elected. And once, of course, that's what I've always said with Trump is that the more he gets out in public, the less they like him.
4 years ago, and that Trump did terribly in. And we'll see if the Cheryl campaign has succeeded in taking those places and making them sort of off limits to Chitterelli this time around.
Oh, they haven't got their microphone on the host. Their host's microphone's off.
Yeah, listen, their strategy was the more this is about Trump, the better they think they're going to do.
That's it. They shouldn't have had all those layoffs.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what NBC does with. Everybody's focused on what does MSNBC do without NBC, but I'm just curious to see how NBC does without.
Well, I showed you Virginia,
MSNBC.
so why don't we show you New Jersey? Why don't we show you Virginia here? Just looking at the top issues, and yes, you could see here the economy. Half the voters in Virginia said it's the economy that's the top issue. Then another 21% talked about health care costs around that. So that's between these two issues.
I don't see transgenders on here.
That's 70% citing one of those two issues in Virginia as their top concern, and seeing the economy pop up like that, in New Jersey as well.
Men and women's bathrooms. That's what you'd think. That's what the whole campaign was about. Was watching the Republicans' ads.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hear.
I mean, it worked for him against Kamala, and so I guess they thought it would work here.
No, and I put up, you said taxes in New Jersey, taxes in the economy right there. And yeah, we are just waiting as more of this sort of comes in. But the good news, Hallie, is in less than 90 minutes, the votes are real.
And you actually get actual numbers and data to talk about. What's the first county you're going to do?
Well, I think we're going to get, we certainly got in the presidential election, Loudoun County, which is in Northern Virginia. And in the presidential election last year, Loudoun County was the one that told people Trump had been elected president because he had so vastly outperformed how he had done there back in 2020. And it's something we then saw in counties like it nationally. I think we're going to get those numbers from Loudoun pretty early again. And I think that's going to give us a pretty good immediate idea how things are going in Virginia.
Do we need to plug Kornacki Cam? I think we do. Because we've got Kornacki Cam rolling tonight right here on it.
It's better they don't tell me about that.
Steve, thank you. I know you're going to be hanging there. Hang tight for a sec. We want to get to somebody who's very familiar with an election night like this, the gubernatorial election, and that is somebody who served as a governor of North Carolina, former Republican governor there.
Well, somebody messed up, didn't they?
I'm trying to figure out what, because they're calling this Kornacki Cam. So this is apparently just a camera on him.
Oh, he broadcasts live on YouTube sometimes when they're doing this.
that's what this is. It's a YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's what this is. It's just his YouTube cam. Interesting. Well,
Now, he's been doing that for several years, talking to the folks on YouTube.
Oh God, not the music again. Good, my AI could come up with better music than that.
For several years, he talks through the commercials on YouTube.
Oh, really?
So that they don't have to put up with the commercials. They can just chit chat with him. He'll even talk live to some of the listeners or watchers or whatever they are.
Yeah.
See that perfect hair, that still handsome face, the right age range. I mean, he's got it down cold, honey.
Yeah. I mean, and I almost think he had eyeliner, but I hope we don't go there. We don't.
He won't go eyeliner, but he will darken the brows so that they don't gray like the hair.
Yeah. I'm still trying to decide if I can warm up. I mean, a lot of it is I think he might be the only choice. I mean, at least right now, in terms of what's going to get all the attention. I mean, I think he's going to have this big win tonight. And apparently, they've scheduled a big victory speech for him.
He is as a Californian. He is kind of this generation's Jerry Brown Jr. And so,
who I really liked. I liked Jerry Brown.
Oh, he was fun, and his whole relationship with Linda Ronstadt and everybody sort of, even the people who hated Jerry liked Jerry.
Yeah. And all of his personalities, I liked all of them. He had 3 or 4 over the years.
It didn't matter whether he was a monk or a Sybarite. He did just fine, thank you.
Yeah. Of course, he started out when all the elite liberal, all the New England and Northeastern Democrats wanted to stop Jimmy Carter because they were horrified Carter was winning the nomination in 76.
Yeah.
And they kept throwing people at they tried Mo Udall and Hubert Humphrey. They even rolled Hubert Humphrey back on the stage to run against Carter for a while and try to get him to stop Carter. And in the end, they got Jerry Brown, and Jerry Brown did start winning primaries toward the end, but it was just too late to rack up enough delegates. But he was their final attempt at a savior.
Well, they had messed up so much the election before that.
Yeah.
That it was. Yeah. Carter actually looked good.
But I mean, Carter's big mistake, I always thought, was he did not reach out to the DNC crowd after he got elected. He continued burning bridges with them.
Yeah.
And did not make peace with the elite and traditional or establishment Democrats. And what happened? They ran against him again for the election and got Ted Kennedy. And probably.
But I don't think any of our exes have had as successful an after presidency as Carter had.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he was much better at living life than he was as living president.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He did a fairly good job as president.
Yes.
A lot of the stuff that we credit to Reagan, Carter's the one that brought it up.
Followed up and cleaned it up. I think he pissed off a lot of people with the whole Panama Canal and then the Olympics, and just generally aggravated people that he couldn't have aggravated.
I always thought the Olympics was a very bad decision. He had a way though of, he believing in sacrifice, and that he thought people would be willing to sacrifice the Olympic, but that was a bad move.
Of course, he showed what Christianity was supposed to be, not what it is now.
Yeah.
There's that. Hey, just it was going to be very hard because, you know, the Democratic Party was just split down, falling apart. You know, the old coalition that got Johnson in, or got Kennedy in, as far as that goes, you know, it was gone by the time Carter came there. He was just, the fact that he was Southern, is that helped get him elected. And once they realized he wasn't a real Southerner, you know, and the old school pulled away.
Well, that was one reason Richard Viguerie and some other of the evangelical leaders got Reagan on abortion, because they realized that Reagan couldn't win if they couldn't peel away the evangelicals from Carter. Because as a Southern Baptist Democrat, even though he was a Democrat, he had a pretty good chunk of the evangelical vote in some key states. And that's when they convinced Reagan to embrace pro-life, the abortion issue, and turn that into a political wedge.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him a while to convince Reagan, because he at one point he basically just thought it was kind of creepy, you know, to get into the whole issue, you know. And but they finally convinced him, and that did peel away some of that vote from Carter.
Well, and then of course Reagan was a Democrat until he got Nancy pregnant.
Well, we'll see. Let's get back to today's world. I'm trying to see what Fox is up to. No, they're just in commercial.
Do we have to?
See what Nicole's gang's.
I can usually stand to give them about 2 minutes before I click.
Yeah. See what these guys are talking about. I always like this guy.
Gone to the polls and had validated, endorsed the notion of independent, nonpartisan redistricting commissions, and to go up against that, knowing he would have a well-funded opposition, was a gamble. It was a gutsy move on his part, just politically speaking. If he lost today, I don't think it would have killed his presidential candidacy, but he would have taken a big setback if he'd lost. Instead, he won. He's going to win decisively, and he ran a smart, gutsy campaign, and we've talked a little bit about.
See, this is why I think he's the big winner tonight. This is the kind of thing we're going to be hearing from the pundit class. They're going to get all enamored with Gavin Newsom tonight.
Well, yeah, he's putting a nice shine on his leadership
show in the past
label.
Yeah, I think that's what I was expecting to see. And of course, a lot of the more left-leaning media is desperate to see somebody take on Trump.
And the problems with the Democratic Party now, I think, are going to resolve themselves. I was talking to Blue, or chatting with Blue earlier, and the whole idea that the younger generation coming up, they like the Nordic form of democratic socialism. You know, it's the older group that's leaning into the moderates, and as they die out, you're going to see that drift to the people who the money that's there should go to the largest number of people on the federal level. It shouldn't just go to the teeny group at the top.
Yeah. I could see MSNBC making and it might be a good move for them too, just to become the Gavin Newsom channel. The way Fox is, became the way Fox rode the Trump horse.
Oh, I bought the professor's book.
Heinlein?
Huh? No,
Heinlein? Peter Raschuti.
Peter. Yeah, Professor
Oh, really?
Peter.
Oh,
yeah. I haven't had a chance to get into it
I'm hoping
yet.
to get him back tomorrow because I want to do some Mystery Science Theater with the Supreme Court oral argument tomorrow.
Well, I wanted to ask him about my idea of a penny a share going to pay off the national debt.
Oh.
Every time a share changes hands for whatever reason, the feds get a penny.
Oh boy. Wall Street love that idea.
But when you think about it, if someone's trading, oh, come on, it's only a penny. Until you see that they just traded 1 billion shares.
Well, they did that back when, was it Clinton? When they were worried about too much short-term thinking in the stock market. And I don't know how much, it wasn't that much. It was kind of like a penny or two.
But what it amounts to is all of the money we currently spend on interest that really hurts the national debt would then be available for federal social programs because Wall Street would be paying off the national debt.
Yeah. Well, part of it is, I think Clinton basically said if you doesn't take much money to be raised to start getting the debt under control.
This is not.
Our
campaign's got to get bigger. If we're going to be patriotic again, and people are going to think the American dream is.
Who's this guy again? He was a Democrat.
They want to know how their lives are going to be made better. So at least we're off to a little bit more.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I don't know, Greg.
Let's kill off more sea life, you idiot.
It's not ideal.
That is so embarrassing. I've seen his bag of groceries fall out too, so I can only imagine.
You hold it, Harold.
Harold Ford.
Mikey.
That's who that
Mikey, I just can't. I mean, what's he, a 12-year-old boy? It's just it's ridiculous. Look, I'm going to say something that's going to be shocking, but energy is power.
Let me write that down.
And what held us back was as an opportunity cost was the trillions and trillions of dollars wasted on a fraudulent climate agenda.
Tell that to my whales that are dying, you ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost another baby orca this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some AP live shots. Those are live shots with no life. There is nothing. They got 4 cameras there and nothing's happening on any of them.
Yeah, we care about strange things out here in Washington. The undamming the Snake River is going to help because it'll get more salmon out there. But right now, the babies are starving to death.
Wow. Well, let's see if they've got some numbers. See if they got
looking for when the results come in New York.
So let's start with where David just was, going through some of the demographics of New York. Are you a new voter a lot? One of my big questions tonight is Donald Trump had a lot of wows when he won re-election in 2024, even in places where he lost, like New York, Virginia, and New Jersey. One of the wows was Donald Trump's growing support among
Be back in a minute.
In New York, 5 very distinct boroughs. Yes, it's a blue city, but 5 very distinct boroughs. The Bronx is majority Latino. That's where Donald Trump made huge gains.
Yeah, I have a hard time getting real excited, real interested in the New York mayor's race, actually. I mean, I just think it's kind of a outlier, wild card. I mean, as far as the midterms go, I'm more interested in New Jersey and Virginia.
Agree. They can't really even start talking about the exit polls. What time do the polls close? At 8?
Well, once the polls close, then they can tell us what the exit polls really say.
Right, but they can't before then. They can gather the
so right
information.
now you just have to. Yeah, but you can draw conclusions from what they're releasing now, and what we're seeing is the issues. When they ask people about the issues they care about and their attitudes toward Trump, you can see this was a pretty big turnout of Democrat voters, it seems like.
I think Trump is really hurting himself with the ICE arrests because, he's not the Hispanic long-term people, even if they were undocumented, really wanted to get rid of the crooks. But instead, he went after the hard-working folks, and that's going to hurt him.
It's bound to. I can't believe it would. I think the non-white vote that they got so excited about with the Republicans. I mean, first of all, they didn't do as well as they think they did, but they did better. But that's really an issue. I actually did I had Stat do a little report on that. Let's see. Tomorrow is Tuesday in November in an election year. We're going to look at some races that are going to tell us what might happen next year in the midterms and who gets control of Congress. And one of the things we're watching is non-white voters. So they keep saying non-white voters are flirting with the Republicans. And we're going to haul in our old friend Stat Dude, Chat GPT with face and voice. Did Republicans really make gains among non-white voters in the last election?
A little, but not nearly what the hype machine sold. In 2024, Republicans ticked up a few points with Latino voters, mostly men without college degrees. Among black voters, the GOP crept up a few points, mostly older men in cities like Atlanta and Detroit. Asian American voters stayed mostly blue.
So where should we watch tomorrow night to see if that trend is real?
Virginia is the main test. Watch Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and the DC suburbs. These are diverse communities that leaned a bit right last year. In New Jersey, keep an eye on Paterson, Newark, and Jersey City. They're among the most diverse areas in the state and report results early.
Are they monitoring this vote accurately enough for us to learn something?
The Virginia and New Jersey gubernatorial races are gold mines for turnout data. Both states keep meticulous precinct-level returns and run aggressive early voting operations with demographic tags.
Now, the bottom line, midterms next year, can non-white voters make a difference in whether Democrats retake control of the House?
Yes, but it's turnout, not conversions. Just 2 or 3 more points of participation among Black and Latino voters in those metro areas can flip multiple districts. Republicans don't need to win those voters. They just need them tired or tuned out. Democrats need them motivated and mad.
That
I like that, motivated and mad.
Yeah. And what I found interesting in where they did make gains among non-white voters in both Hispanic and Black, it was among men.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to wonder if that was more of a gender thing with Kamala as the nominee.
Oh, I think so.
Less about liking Trump. Because I kept seeing signs in the campaign that bothered me a little that African American men were not keen on Kamala. And
well, you have to understand that the Black community is basically a matriarchy. And the men, they're the ones who have solidly for all these years supported, maintained, and kept the family going. And as that has broken down a little bit, so that the grandma who did Sunday dinner and the ladies who wear their crowns to church have always kept a tight grip on the black society.
Yeah.
And that is breaking down. And now as the women with the AKA ladies, the Kamala and her sorority sisters.
Oh, right.
And the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
Divine Nine idea.
Yeah.
That upsets a lot of the guys in the black community.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So
You know, it's one thing to do what Mama says, and it's another thing to vote for her.
yeah, that's the way to put it. That's right. But I just can't imagine in the midterms, they're going to maintain any kind of edge among Republicans, among non-white voters like they had in 2024.
Oh, Trump is so much of a hater that he's got to turn them off.
Yeah.
But I was calling him a racist way back in the television days with that man.
Oh, did you switch hats there?
Yeah, I had my old straw hat that I work in. And I had an old T-shirt that was pretty ragged. And I thought, well, if we're gonna get on the good part where people might actually show up,
that's your after dark hat.
There you go.
I'm in my recliner and robe mode.
Well, let's see. I guess I kind of got started a little early here, since we're not going to get real numbers until 7:00, are we? It's like it's 5:47 now.
Yeah, no, you're not going to see anything for over 2 hours.
Yeah, I think I might.
In fact, I may go out and come back in again.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll come back about 7:00 when the polls close.
I mean, I love chatting with you gentlemen, but got things to do, and I'll see you in a couple of hours.
Yeah, let's reconvene about 7:00 then when we got real numbers. See if.
Okay, hon. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right.
That's what, an hour and a half away?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we don't. Good Lord, they got Jim Jordan on CNN. Well, that's a good place. That's a good time to stop.
Well, if he's showing up, I gotta be honest. There's no Republican that wants to get elected next time. Wanted to be there.
Yeah. I bet you he's such a good spinner. Let's see how he's spinning this thing.
They've tried to pass it in the Senate, and unfortunately, they're not listening to John Fetterman. Senator Fetterman said,
"Oh, they're talking about shutdown.
We should move on. This is ridiculous." So, but I've also been back in town the last 3 weeks. Last 4 weeks. I come in every week and do work that I think is
not working
for the folks in the 4th District, important for the country, namely some of the oversight duties we have as members of Congress.
Right. Obviously, though, there are disagreements.
Out here in the world away from politics, nobody, unless you're, primarily affected, I don't know if people's paying that much attention.
Yeah, because there's not enough pain. That's the thing. They've legislated all the pain out of a shutdown over time. With each shutdown, they would say, "Well, the next one will exempt this. We'll exempt that," and pretty soon, for anybody have an incentive, I think we're in a world where we could just have a permanent shutdown.
But now, what I have noticed in the local news was a lot of companies are using the SNAP thing to step up and say that they're willing to donate to take care of people.
Oh yeah.
you know, and they're using it as a, you know, a feel good thing. How much they're donating, I don't know. But
well, it's just like
and Walmart both.
I mean, that's such a canard anyway, because that's one of the things they legislated out of the shutdown is there's no reason for them not to be paying these SNAP benefits. I mean, they've got the money. It was legislated. It's been appropriated.
Well, they're trying to find some way to force the Democrats.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just a maneuver. It's not something they have to do.
Yeah,
I mean, and the judge. That's what the judge ruled. I mean, that the law. She just applied the law that Congress passed that you have to continue SNAP benefits during a shutdown. You don't have a choice.
Well, it's, basically, and if there's I'm not for sure how you either you can't continue anything or you should be able to continue everything.
Yeah.
I don't even understand it.
And then they can do separate votes on things like, defense spending. I mean, they can, I mean, what we're we've taken dysfunctional government and made it even more dysfunctional by creating the possibility of a permanent shutdown.
So I don't know. Well, I will see you in about an hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to order some pizza and come back after I have some pizza, I think. Maybe about 8 o'clock.
That was kind of where I was at. I was going to keep things up. I need to munch on a little something. So I got a little cheese here and some rum. But
I think I'll maybe come back about 8 o'clock. Then we're definitely going to have some numbers and start getting victory speeches and stuff. That's when it'll be more fun.
Well, I figure about the time the polls close, like in Virginia, if it's the way everybody thinks it's going to be, they'll announce who wins.
Yeah.
But
I think the most interesting thing I'm wanting to see tonight is Newsom's victory speech. I think that's going to be a big takeaway going forward.
Well, he should
get a lot.
He's fairly smart, so he should be putting together a good one.
Yeah.
So, and probably already should have had it. What is it? Focus group tested.
Yeah.
Be ready. Well, we'll see you.
I think I'll actually put him back on for another 30 seconds. All right. Gavin Newsom, I think he's going to be the big winner tonight in the off-year elections, mainly because he's got that big ballot proposition in California that's going to pass big, and he's going to get a big media ride. A lot of media is going to be talking about him as presidential candidate since he hadn't ruled it out going forward.
He knows he's going to lose the midterms, and he's trying to rig the election.
And nobody has a bead on getting under Trump's skin like this guy.
Democrats still have a significant amount of rebuilding to do. What specifically do you think Democrats have to do in order to be a viable party again in the midterms in the next presidential election?
Win. People want to see what winners matters, momentum, strength, not weakness. I think the one thing that's marked the Democratic Party in the last number of months, you get shellacked in election. When you lose the electoral vote, the popular vote, we lost both houses of Congress, and we were in doubt. There was anxiety. I mean, who are we as a party? There was concern about our ability to lead this remarkable moment, the shock and awe coming from Donald Trump. We were on our heels. We weren't on our toes. And so I think people want strength. They want clarity. They want conviction. And then we could talk about a positive alternative message. Obviously, Trump and Trumpism in the situational crisis that's at hand for our democracy, our republic, needs to be addressed. But at the same time, people will rightfully ask, all right, what's the positive alternative vision for this country that will come from the Democratic Party, and when does that messaging process begin?
What should that vision be? What should the positive alternative message be?
You deal with the
Donald
cards
Trump?
that are dealt. You deal with the situation at hand. I mean, right now we have a crisis of democracy. This guy, it's no longer the rule of law, it's the rule of Don. He's testing every theory. He's pushing boundaries that are unprecedented in U.S. history. By some estimates, a third of all the court decisions he's completely dismissed. He's an extortion racket as it relates to the universities, law firms, the media, what he's trying to do to all institutions that cultivate individual or independent thinking. And so it requires us to be clear and aggressive to call that out and address that obstacle. At the same time, as we move to pivot after November to the midterm elections and beyond, that gives the party the opportunity to really reestablish its why, its purpose, what are its policies, what is it fighting for, what is it reconciling as it relates to the losses of the past, and how are we going to address those issues moving forward?
Well, Democrats in Washington believe they have found a winning issue in their battle over health care. The government shutdown, now the second longest in U.S. history. Democrats essentially saying any bill to reopen the government has to include an extension of health care subsidies, which are set to expire at the end of the year. Do you believe Democrats have picked the right fight?
Well, I'd say you're welcome to America. I mean, rural and red states that are disproportionately the beneficiaries of the Democrat stance. We're fighting for the people that voted not just for our party and our values and principles, but voted for Donald Trump and his party. We have their back. Donald Trump has betrayed them. He's turned their back. The Republicans in Congress have turned their back. So absolutely, your question, absolutely it's the right issue because it breaks through at a time of great economic anxiety. The idea that you're going to face a 1 to 3+100% increase in your premiums in a matter of months is the issue that defines more issues in more ways on more days for more Americans. So it's absolutely the right call.
And yet federal workers are suffering. The lines are getting longer outside of food banks. Some 5 million Californians stand to potentially lose food assistance.
Yeah.
What do you say to those 5 million Californians who are afraid their families are going to go hungry and they want Democrats to get together with Republicans and reopen the government?
I think it's a disgrace. The USDA has never done this in the past. They said they have a contingency fund for precisely this moment. They said just a few days ago on November 30th, or rather September 30th, that the contingency fund exists for a moment like this, a likely government shutdown. So there's you're right, 5.5 million Americans that live in my home state that will be impacted by the decision, the choice by the Trump administration to cut this program during Thanksgiving. And those same people will face unprecedented prices for beef and coffee and other basic goods, just as they're facing unprecedented costs for candy, up 10.8% for Halloween. And what we will all experience is this war on Christmas and the cost of toys because of Trump's recklessness on this massive sales tax increase.
Yeah, but Newsom,
blue-collar workers.
I think this guy's got an angle.
Governor,
just
people are
the leader of the pack, front runner. Doesn't mean he's going to get the nomination in 2028, of course, but I think he's about to be named the front runner by the media.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.